right, good to have you back on this Wednesday. Nick Hopwood, certified financial planner, founder and president of Peak Wealth, with me as he is on a regular basis. Nick, good to see you again.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for having me.
Always so much to talk about: taxes, markets, debts, deficits, peak income, the 360 program. Tell me what this is. It's something you put together. Let's start with taxes, though, because and I don't mean to be political. Unless you're Hunter Biden, you do have to pay your taxes, because if you don't, there are severe penalties. If you're Hunter, apparently you get a pass and don't have to pay your taxes. That's the story we've already covered today. Tell me about your concerns about small business operations and the ability to manage taxes, because it's really important. Tell me.
Yeah, Steve, as a small business owner like myself and like you, right, we have opportunities to manage our taxes maybe better than most W-2 employees, but there are opportunities for W-2 employees to manage taxes as well. So we want to think about contributing to our 401k, whether it's a traditional or a Roth. We want to think about a backdoor Roth IRA. We want to think about contributing to our HSA if we're eligible, because the HSA, here we have it on the screen here, the HSA is the only triple tax-free investment opportunity in the tax code today.
Explain that to folks. Triple tax-free. So if you're listening in the car and they're like, well, how is that? How does that work? If you don't have an HSA is a health savings account. For anybody who didn't know what that meant, health savings account is a chance to triple your tax-free, to not be exposed. How is that possible?
Well, it's just like having a traditional 401k and a Roth IRA together. So when you make a deposit, you take the tax write-off. The investments can grow tax deferred. And then when you take the money out, it's a tax-free withdrawal. So the money never gets taxed ever.
Ever? And how much, okay, so I'm a single guy in America today. How much can I put into an HSA? Or I'm a married guy. How much?
Yeah, for the family, it's $7,750, and for a single, it's half that. So
right.
It's not going to get you rich overnight, but every year it will certainly add up.
Yeah, you put $7,750 in for a few years. Does it grow? Is it invested and it gets bigger, or does it stay static?
Well, most people make the mistake of using their HSA every year to pay for medical expenses. But my advice is to use traditional cash flow to pay for your medical expenses. Therefore, the money can be invested any which way you want and take advantage of that tax deferral and let it grow.
Okay, so there's one good piece of advice, that if you can afford it, if you can afford to put some money in, so half of that is, just over $3,500. If you can set that aside in a tax-free, that's times 3, place, then go ahead and park it there. Meanwhile, Peak Income 360, tell me about that.
Yeah, so Steve, you and I, we don't have pensions, and only about 20 to 25% of Americans are eligible for pensions today. So we have to, put it on ourselves to save and invest for our own future. So my Peak Income 360 formula consists of adding 10 to 15% to retirement savings in the vehicles that I just mentioned, purchasing $1 million worth of rental real estate, and that number might scare people, but you can use leverage if you're smart and careful. And then in semi-retirement, use your consulting skills and work part-time for a high hourly rate. And back in the day, I used to joke about the Walmart greeter. It's not that way anymore. We're talking about earning really good income with very part-time work as a consultant. And then finally, delaying your Social Security as long as you can to maximize and get as much as you can per month. And remember, for the younger generation, we're planning for a 25% Social Security reduction.
When?
I tell people under age 50, so I'm 44, I'm planning for a 25% haircut on my Social Security benefits.
Do you think it could be more?
Well, anything's possible, but right now, if you believe what the Social Security Administration says, benefits will be secure at a 3/4 level starting in 2033.
So there you go, a haircut on your, and I see why this would make people really angry. Look, It's not an entitlement. People paid into Social Security. They put their money there, and they trusted the wrong people. They trusted politicians. But still, they were promised that money would be there. So then the money gets trimmed back. That just seems terribly inappropriate. Am I wrong?
No, I completely agree. It's about a 1% return on Social Security if you live to life expectancy. And with money markets at 4.9%, it seems like a bad deal. Steve, the last spoke on that wheel is no debt. So if you can get to retirement and without a mortgage, there you have it at the bottom. We can, that's just like having an extra income stream if you think about it, with less expense. Every $1,000 a month is worth a $300,000 balance in your portfolio.
Really? So money that you don't spend is equivalent. That's interesting. $1,000 a month equivalent to $300,000 in wherever your money may be coming from. Now, people get a lot more than that from Social Security, obviously, but still. And some people are going to say, well, gosh, I can't afford $1 million in real estate. That's never going to happen. But you can leverage things. You can make things happen. I wouldn't buy commercial real estate. It looks like it's going to be a disaster. I'll give you the last word.
Well, there might be an
here.
opportunity.
Well, that's true.
There might be an upcoming opportunity.
Yeah, to buy cheap because, commercial real estate, people went home for the pandemic, worked from home, didn't go back. San Francisco, you can probably buy the whole city here for about $1.50 in about 2 weeks because nobody lives there anymore. And you can buy a hotel for $1. It's a $100 million hotel. You can own it for $1, but you have to let the homeless people live. That's just one of the rules. All right, where do they find you, Nick?
As always, Steve, peakwm.com.
Of course. peakwm.com. Nick, as always, I enjoy. You make me smile. You make me think. You make me wonder about, if I'll have enough money when I retire. Of course, will I ever retire? I don't know, Nick. I kind of like what I do. Anyway, good seeing you.
Thank you, Steve.
Greatly appreciate it. I will take a break, though, and come back. Don't go anywhere.